This week on Scam School, we give you the last thing you ever expected, actual skill! This magic-tacular episode of Scam School is brought to you by Netflix. You know, you take an old lady, you empty out her bank account, and suddenly it's theft. But take that same old lady, empty out her bank account, and she thanks you, then you got Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and this week we're gonna give you an actual skill, a real talent. You're going to become handsome and awesome and everything you ever wanted to be, except it will turn out to be a big fat lie. Let's take a look. All right, Tom and Roger. Roger, returning guests, the potentate of the rose. You gotta check out that episode for sure. Tom, it is good to meet you. Here's the thing, when you deal with cards as much as I do, you build up an affinity, a little bit of a skill. I've been doing card tricks for coming on 20 years now, and there's a few things that you pick up, not only about the obvious stuff like shuffling and stuff, but you learn to know when you're picking up 1 card, 5 cards, 10 cards, or anything. Like for example, like right here, I tried to pick up about 11 cards, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See? Wow. Now, of course, whenever somebody does that, when a magician pulls this kind of thing, it's not always impressive because you're like, well, of course, you're skilled with cards. Let me see if I can get this one. It's trying to hit 21. Let's see if I got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? Okay, so I did good. Now, again, this is a skill thing. This is one of those things. Something that would be a little more impressive would be if you guys cut the cards and put them into my hand, and just by holding them, I was able to figure out how many cards I got. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Cut as many, as deep or as tall as you want, anywhere you want in that deck, put them in my hands. I'm trying not to look, because then you can't accuse me of counting. I'm gonna say that sounds like about 33 cards.
33.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I don't know if I got it. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Right on the nose. All right, now again, you might think that I've got like eagle ears and I'm able to hear like da-da-da-da-da. I'm sure if you slowed it down, you could actually hear the cracking sound of each card going down. So again, this time I won't riffle them. I won't spread them. I'll try to go just by weight. So Tom, pick however many cards you want. All right, now this one, like I promised, I'm gonna try to keep it as a block, which means I can, not only am I feeling the weight, but I'm also able to feel kind of the thickness in there, right?
Yep.
This feels almost to be half a deck. I'm gonna say this is 25 cards. Okay. And I tell you what, I don't even want to count it. You count it, because you might think I'm doing some mojo when I count it. You count them. How many cards did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 on the nose!
Unbelievable.
All right, now here's the thing.
Yep.
What if I told you that while this looks like an incredible demonstration of skill, it took no talent whatsoever, and in fact, I could teach both of you guys to be just this good in about 5 minutes. Is that something you'd want to hear?
Yes.
Okay,
sure.
Then let's toast our sponsors and learn the secrets. Dude, Netflix. It's the greatest thing that's ever been invented. You know it, I know it, the whole damn internet knows it. You get awesome titles streamed to your Xbox 360, your PS3, your Nintendo Wii, your iPhone, your iPad, your computer. There's nothing that they're not taking care of. These guys are geniuses. You get thousands of awesome titles, but here's the important thing. Secretly, Netflix is a graduate-level course in scamology. They have all of the best scams and cons movie you've ever seen. Go on in there, go and search around, check it out, and in fact, you can watch all of them in one 30-day period, totally free. Just head on over to www.netflix.com/scamschool, sign up for your free 30-day trial, and then you can cancel and they'll never know. But you're not gonna cancel. You're gonna keep the service forever, because it's only the greatest thing in the entire universe. Even better than Scam School. By that much. All right, now in all seriousness, how impressive this is on a scale, like if you're gonna give this trick a grade, like at school, what would you give it?
I give it an 8.
You give it an 8?
Yeah, I was
8.5?
Yeah.
I was looking for like an A+, but I'll take an 8. All right, let me show you something. This really does take no physical dexterity whatsoever. It does take a little bit of mental arithmetic. Let me show you something. You guys watched me sit here and fiddle with the cards the whole time they were setting up the cameras. You watched me cutting the deck. You watched me spreading them around. And the great part is you can see that the cards are all in kind of a mishmash order, right? And there's obviously no way I could know what card went where. But if you look really closely at all the cards straight in a row, what's the first thing you notice about all the cards?
They alternate red, black, red.
Very good. And if you look even closer, you'll notice the order always goes clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. Magicians call this chased order, CHSD, for clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds. And finally, if you look super closely, you'll notice that each card is 3 more than the one that came before it. So you go from ace to a 4, to a 7, plus 3 is 10, plus 3 is king, and then you loop around the ace back to 3, plus 3 is 6, to 9, plus, and if you count the queen is 12, and so on all the way through. It turns out this is an old stack of cards. It's over 100 years old that some magicians, mentalists, and gamblers have used in order to cheat. Now, we've covered different stacks of cards for cheating at poker in the past, but this is the first one that we're using for a magic trick, and we'll actually hopefully have other future applications for this. But this application comes from our friend of the show, Diamond Jim Tyler, who used it as a way to display skill and dexterity of knowing how many cards people have cut off. So it does take a little bit of arithmetic. The nice thing about that stack is it's called a cyclical stack. It doesn't matter where you cut the cards because it never changes the order of the cards. It only changes where the break is in there. You with me so far?
Got it.
So you can cut the cards legitimately as much as you want, but I wanted you guys to have the impression I was shuffling them. So what I would do is I would riffle off cards, I would spread them on each hand, kind of do this, and then I just put them right back in the same order. But if I kept doing this over and over again, it kind of vaguely, now I didn't act like I was shuffling, but if you hear someone continue to do this over and over again, your brain says those audio cues are, I must be shuffling the cards. So that's what you do in all the time leading up to this. Then you want to keep cutting the cards until you end up with a really high card on the bottom. And you'll understand why here in just a moment. We'll take a queen, all right? Now, queen has a value of what? 12. Correct. So we're going to leave 12 as our base number and leave it on the bottom. Then we're going to cut off some number of cards here. So we got a 6 here.
Got it.
Now, I tried not to act like I needed to know what the bottom card was of whatever you picked up, but I totally needed to know what the bottom card is. And the math breaks down. You start off with the queen, and you take 12 minus 6 gives you, of course, 6.
Yeah.
So that you take that difference and you multiply it times 4. 6 times 4 is
24.
24. You might already be done. So what you do is, whatever that number is, whatever the difference is times 4, you ask yourself, is this probably 24 cards? And so if you look at it, this is slightly less than half, and half the deck would be 26. So I say, yes, it is slightly half than 26, so it's got to be 24. And if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, right? Same thing. Again, let's say we went slightly higher. This time I picked a jack. So we got a queen on bottom.
Yep.
We got a jack of what we just picked up. So 12 minus 11 is only 1.
Yep.
We multiply that times 4 and we get 4. So we ask ourselves, is this 4 cards? Now obviously it's not. So then you go a step farther. You say, if it's not the number, then try adding or subtracting 13 at a time. Because remember, as the way the stack is laid out, certain cards will show up every 13 cards. So you have a queen here, and 13 later, you should have a queen again. 13 later, you'll have a queen again. So in our example, we had a queen on the bottom, and we picked a jack. So of course, we had a difference of 1 times 4. Now obviously it's not 4, so we got to add 13. 4 plus 13, 17. So in this case, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You got it right. Now the only time things get really weird is on the off chance, let's say you set it up and you don't really get a very high card. Let's say you get a 10 and you think, well, that's high enough on the bottom. And then you cut, well, in this case, you got a 7, so that's below, and you got an ace, that's below. But on the off chance you got a queen, now you're messed up because you can't subtract 12 from 10. You get a negative number. So instead, what you do is you take the current base number and you add 13 to it. So instead of 10, it becomes 23. 23 minus 12 would be 11. And 11 times 4 is 44. So again, same process. You ask yourself, is there a chance I'm holding 44 cards? You're like, of course not. So you subtract 13 and you come up with 31. And you say, am I holding 31 cards? You're like, I clearly have half the deck.
Yep.
So then you subtract 13 again, you say, am I holding 18 cards? And you're like, I think I am. So then you say 18, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Any questions about the process?
So if you pull, if the card on the bottom is less than the card that you cut at, then you add 13
to your base number,
card.
correct?
Okay.
To your base number, right?
Wow,
and then that's the difference you take. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Only question is, which one of you two guys is going to try this?
I'll let Tom since
Let me
it's
try.
Oh,
I don't know.
yes!
All right.
Your inaugural Scam
All
School
right.
moment.
Doing it.
All right, Tom, go ahead and take the cards. Now remember that it is important that you maintain the stack, but
Yeah.
you can cut the cards as often as you want.
That.
There you go.
Cool.
In fact, you can have one of us cut the cards. It doesn't matter.
Cut that.
So we'll use a queen as your base card.
All right. So use queen. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna try to take some.
and then I'll cut the deck, or
Well, the first time I cut the deck myself.
Got it.
And can I tell you one more secret?
Yeah.
For the to have a good chance of that 4 being correct, I actually do try to cut close to the middle. And you'll notice that we got a queen here, and I ended up with a 6. 6 times 4 is 24, so the math worked out really easy. So I know that I don't have to add or subtract 13 on there.
Yeah,
So if you
figure out how
actually,
close to half you are.
exactly, you're less likely to have to add or subtract 13. Or I suppose, I'm sure some math wizard's going to tell me whether or not I'm, psychologically fooling myself or not.
All right.
So you ended up with a
got
6.
You got a queen, which is 12, so it's 6. And 4 is 24. That's probably what I got.
So you got to say, I was trying to go for
Trying to
24.
go 24 here.
And there's one more thing. There's one more
Yep.
thing I want to point out. When you go through the cards, I always made sure to keep them in my hands as I counted them,
Yeah.
because if I did this, I'm reversing the order. I'm messing up the stack.
I see.
So instead, I want to train them by always counting from the left hand to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way they all stay in the same order. So when you count the cards, just pass them from one hand to another.
Sort of like this here, right?
3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. This time we'll have Roger go ahead
All
and
right.
cut you some cards.
okay.
There you go. And then part of the reason I do the rippling of the cards
So you can
is
see the
because it's
bottom.
natural. If you're going to try to hear it, I'm not showing it to you guys, but meanwhile I can see the card as I'm
Doing
listening,
it.
right? What's the bottom card there?
It's a 7.
Okay, so you're glimpsing the 7 while you
Yeah,
listen.
I'll do this here.
And so what is the math? You take the bottom card, which is
12.
right.
This is 5.
That's correct.
Times
Times
4.
which means
Which is 20.
right now 20 would be
Yeah.
less than half the deck. Now
Yeah,
you clearly
got
have
more than
more.
that.
So what are you going to do?
Like 33.
That's right. So 33 is about 2/3 of the deck. Does it look like you have 2/3 of the deck?
Get in there.
I don't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
So I would say,
I'm saying I got 33 right here.
all right, so count them. Let's see if you got it.
3, 4, 5, 6,
21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
33.
Wow.
So it even, right?
That's pretty
Like,
cool.
and it takes a little bit to build up your confidence and get it down. All right, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it one more time.
All right.
I'm going to give Roger the hardest version of all. I'm just going to cut cards off. You're going to have to hold them in your hand and do the math as fast as you can. Now, in the last phase, when it comes to holding it as a block,
Yep.
what I do is I let them set in my hand, but then I pick it up like I'm trying to weigh it. And in weighing it and feeling it, I make sure to kind of flash it to myself what card I get, all right? Those are your cards.
All right.
This
So-
time, we're not even going to find out what his number is. We're going to see if he gets it right.
All right. Okay.
What's it feel like?
So it's 19.
Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 18, 19, and Roger Chang is a wizard! Give it up right there, Tom. You guys killed it. Fantastic job. Toast me, you bastards. That was fantastic. Well done. Now, when you're sitting at home, the math may seem a little bit overwhelming. Trust me, once you actually have one of these stack decks in your hand, you'll have this thing down in 10, 15 minutes tops. it's amazing how fast you start to think in those 13 card blocks. Second of all, I want to give a huge thanks to Diamond Jim Tyler, friend of the show, for sharing this gem with us. Comes from his book, Close-Up Magic Secrets, available in bookstores across the country. Now this Cy Stebbins stack that we use is as old as dirt. 1593 is the first time it appeared in print, according to Bill Kalush, and of course there's a ton of other uses for it, and we're gonna learn a bunch of them. But if you can't wait until those future episodes, why don't you go ahead and check out the Wikipedia article, the book Cy Stebbins Unplugged by Patrick Converso, Gene Hugard's Encyclopedia of Card Tricks, Tony Corinda's book 13 Steps to Mentalism, Howard Thurston's Card Tricks, the forums at Theory 11, the forums at Illusionist. This thing's everywhere. Just go ahead and Google it. You'll be able to find examples in no time. And of course, if you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, go ahead and write me directly at brian@revision3.com or hit us up at the forums at scamschool.tv, where you can see all of our episodes right back to episode 1. And of course, if you want to interact one-on-one, hit me up on my Google Plus at gplus.2/Schwood. Next week, make sure to join us for a very special prequel edition of Scam School, where I'll screw up everything you love about the show. None of the tricks will work, and for some reason, I'll be 8 years old. It'll suck. Bad. Checking out the Wikipedia article, you can check out the At the Card Table DVDs by Darwin Ortiz, the Cy Stebbins Master Routine System by Mac Magic, you can check out works by Alan Ackerman, the forums over at Illusionist, the 1898 text by Cy Stebbins called Cy Stebbins Card Tricks and the Way He Performs Them. Juan Tamariz wrote about it in Mnemonica, Stebbins' Legacy to Magicians from 1935, Tony Corinda and 13 Steps to Mentalism. In other words, you fuckers, it's been out there for 400 years!